Welcome to the Rising to Resilience Learning Course Series. This is Class 2 of a 7-course series. Class 2, ACEs, Trauma, and PCEs. This class will provide an overview on trauma, adverse childhood experiences, positive childhood experiences, and an introduction to resilience. What is trauma? Trauma occurs when a person is overwhelmed by events or circumstances and responds with intense fear, horror, and hopelessness. Extreme stress overwhelms the person's capacity to cope. Some examples of traumatic experiences include abuse, neglect, a mental health issue in a family member, a substance use disorder in a family member, separation from a loved one, a lack of access to resources or basic necessities, violence or an unsafe environment, war or terrorism, racism, and discrimination. What are adverse childhood experiences? Adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, are potentially traumatic events that occur in childhood anytime from 0 through 17 years old. There are 3 categories of ACEs, which include abuse, such as emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, neglect, such as emotional and physical neglect, and household challenges, such as substance misuse, mental illness, which includes attempted suicide, divorce or separation, incarceration, and intimate partner violence or domestic violence. Other types of adversity that individuals may experience include bullying, community violence, natural disasters, refugee or wartime experiences, and witnessing or experiencing acts of terrorism. Adverse childhood experiences are common, as evidenced by data from the 1998 CDC-Kaiser ACEs study and the 2012 Philadelphia Urban ACE study. In the 1998 CDC-Kaiser ACEs study, 64% experienced 1 or more ACEs, and 12% experienced 4 or more ACEs. In the 2012 Philadelphia Urban ACE study, 83% experienced 1 or more ACEs, and 37% experienced 4 or more ACEs. There are many problems in adults that can be attributed to adverse childhood experiences. These problems include alcoholism, COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, heart disease, depression, substance use disorders, liver disease, obesity, autoimmune disease, infection, cancer, sexually transmitted infections, and stroke. Diving deeper, individuals with an ACE score of 4 or more are 2.5 times more likely to have COPD than those with an ACE score of 0, 2.5 times more likely to have hepatitis, 4.5 times more likely to have depression, and 12 times more likely to have suicidality. And individuals with an ACE score of 7 or more have 3 times the lifetime risk of lung cancer and 3.5 times the risk of ischemic heart disease. Ischemic heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States. Adverse childhood experiences can also contribute to problems in children, such as developmental delay, failure to thrive, sleep disruption, asthma, and learning difficulties. Now let's talk about stress. 3 categories of stress include positive, tolerable, and toxic. Positive stress is normal and essential for development. There are brief increases in stress hormone. Tolerable stress occurs when there is increased stress due to longer-lasting stressors. However, if buffered, the brain and body can recover. Toxic stress occurs with stronger, longer, or more frequent stressors. Toxic stress disrupts the health and normal development of the child's brain and body. The presence of adverse childhood experiences does not have to be the end of an individual's life and story. This is where positive childhood experiences and resilience come in. What are positive childhood experiences? Positive childhood experiences are children's experiences of safe, stable, and nurturing relationships and environments. Positive childhood experiences can counterbalance adverse childhood experiences.
Some examples of positive childhood experiences include feeling safe with at least one caregiver, having at least one good friend, having beliefs that provide comfort, finding enjoyment in school, having at least one teacher who you feel cares about you, feeling like you have good neighbors, having an adult that is not a caregiver that can provide support or advice, and having opportunities to have a good time. Additional examples of positive childhood experiences include having positive self-esteem, which is liking or feeling comfortable with yourself, having a predictable home routine, such as at bedtime and meal times, receiving words of encouragement, regularly spending time with a parent or parents doing an enjoyable activity or activities, and having dinner together with family.
If you are comfortable, please take some time now to read and answer these questions on your own. Introduction to Resilience. Resilience is the ability to adapt and persevere when faced with a challenge and to become strong, healthy, and successful again afterward. There are 4 components of internal resilience, which include self-regulation, healthy relationships, internal beliefs, and taking action. Here's a quote by Maya Angelou which states, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Here are 2 crisis lines. There is the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which is a free, direct connection to confidential support for anyone in crisis, 24/7, 365 days a year. You can call or text 988. There is also the National Domestic Violence Hotline that provides essential tools and support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Thank you for taking the time to complete Class 2, ACEs, Trauma, and PCEs. The next course in this series is Class 3, Resilience through Self-Regulation. For questions, comments, or more information, contact the Snohomish County Health Department Trauma and Resilience team by emailing SHD.Trauma&Resilience@co.snohomish.wa.us.